Hello, everyone! Hi, what is this? This is an actual organized video. I know, I've missed having your cleavage in my face, too! So, today's video comes to you in 5 parts, hopefully in under 5 minutes if I talk really fast. Part 1, explaining of the spoon theory like I promised. Yes, it involves actual spoons. No spooning? Where was your mind? I told you this was about sick people. It's actually about chronically ill people. People with diseases like lupus, chronic fatigue syndrome, and fibromyalgia, that kind of thing. And I didn't list all of the chronic illnesses, so please don't get mad at me if I didn't list yours. Those were just the first 3 that came to mind, because the people who taught me spoon theory had those diseases. Or syndromes. I'm sorry. Those were syndromes, not diseases. Okay, so spoon theory is the basic idea that when you're sick, you have a limited amount of spoons. I chose 12 spoons to start the day with for me because I have a fairly large amount of chronic illnesses. And some of them are not as severe as others, but, you know, when you add them together, they really get on. Yeah, I don't have a lot. So I gave myself 12 spoons, which is, you know, an average amount, especially for someone with a chronic illness. Healthy people have an unlimited amount of spoons, and they can do whatever they want. Sick people only have so many spoons, and once your spoons run out, you're done for the day. You have to go to sleep and re-earn those spoons. And sure, you can use a non-existent spoon, like borrow from tomorrow's spoons, but you don't know what tomorrow may bring, and maybe tomorrow you'll need that spoon. So here's the idea. I'm going to put these 12 spoons on this plate so my mom doesn't kill me for dirtying 12 spoons, okay? I've adjusted the theory a little bit so that bigger spoons can hold more in them. For instance, let's say this spoon can hold getting out of bed and getting dressed on a good day. Now that's a lot. Usually that's something that requires 2 spoons. On a bad day, it'd take 2 spoons because for me, getting out of bed can be really painful, especially if I've had a seizure during my sleep and I've hurt myself falling out of bed during the middle of the night. You know, something like that, and my muscles are sore, then getting out of bed in the first place would take a spoon, and then getting dressed would take another spoon. So there's that. Then I decide if I need to shower, which really, to function in this world, if I want to have friends, I need to shower every other day. I'm putting this spoon on my skirt, which is clean because I did shower today. So today I showered. That's actually going to take a medium-sized spoon. So we'll take this spoon. Showering is really hard. You have to stand up the whole time, and that hurts my leg muscles to begin with because I am in constant, like, my muscles always hurt no matter what. And it's just a long time to be standing. You're cleaning, bending into all these weird angles that are just not right. Okay, this video is not going to be under 5 minutes because the spoon theory alone is going to be 5 minutes. You're bending into all these angles that aren't right to clean yourself. And it's just really hard to get in and out of the shower. And for me, getting into the shower takes getting over the fear that I'm going to end up waking up from a seizure in the bathtub again, which has happened before. So there's the showering. You gotta do that. Eating breakfast and taking pills. Taking pills isn't that hard necessarily, unless they make you sick to your stomach, in which case eating is going to be difficult. So it takes a spoon to eat your breakfast and take pills. Then you've got morning homework. Takes a big spoon for this because it drains me emotionally and actually physically too. I'm physically tired by the time I've gotten through 2 hours of work. So there's that. And then I have to take a nap. And by the time I wake up from nap, it's lunchtime. And lunchtime is actually really hard because I'm not hungry, I don't want to eat, so I have to shove food down my throat to satisfy people. And it's actually really hard to eat when you're not hungry. I know that sounds stupid and ridiculous, but it's really hard to eat when you're physically not hungry because you're sick. And to eat a whole meal and then not get sick because you don't want to throw up your pills, kind of hard. So that's another spoon. Walking outside to play with the bunnies. I love them to death, but a spoon for each bunny because I have 2. Now when I go outside, I also have to feed them. That only takes 1 spoon. So feeding the bunnies and then walking each one, that's a 3-spoon activity. I come back inside and do more work. Another spoon. Then usually I get online and I blog, which just takes a little spoon, but it's still draining energy because I'm typing, which hurts my hands a bit. And you know, it's still energy going out. If I do any kind of video blog or Skype any of my friends, that takes something because my throat almost always hurts because of the ulcers going up my throat because of my GI issues. So that's a spoon. Finally, well, we have dinner. Dinner and evening meds. Take a bit. Or any family activities that I want to do. Do I want to eat dinner? Or do I want to play with the family when we're playing on the Wii? This is my last spoon. Do I want to take back some of these activities? The thing that healthy people sometimes don't always realize is that healthy people ask a lot, and I've gotten this too, is what is it like to be sick? And they think, you know, maybe it's just the pain. And yeah, there's pain. There's a lot of it, I can assure you. But there's also a lot of decision making. Your life is never simple again. Once you get that diagnosis and you realize, you grow up in an instant. And from the time that I was about 7 or 8, I've had to do that. I didn't always know about the spoon theory, but in essence, I've had to do that same thing since I was 7 or 8. You make decisions based on what your body can handle, and if you make the wrong decisions, you end up in the hospital, or you end up at the doctor's office, and the doctor doesn't take into consideration the fact that you're an 8-year-old who just wanted an extra 30 minutes playing with your friends in the pool. The doctor says, "What were you thinking? You know you have epilepsy." So, yeah, the thing is, healthy people have all these unlimited opportunities, and you don't have to think, do I want to eat lunch today, or do I want to play with my family? Whereas sick people have to think these things through. Do I want to cook dinner or go out for dinner and drive home, which is going to exert less energy? Now, for me, the obvious answer is cook dinner because I can't drive. But, you know, that's just an example of what the choices can be. So, that's the spoon theory, and if you want to incorporate it into your lives, a great thing to do so that you're not overexerting your sick friends is, if they know the spoon theory, then you can, instead of asking them, like, yo, how you feeling? If you want them to come to something with you, or instead of automatically excluding them, you can ask, do you have any spoons left today? Or what's your spoon count right now? Or something like that. That's nice, and they can feel comfortable telling you, well, I don't have any today, but do you want to try again tomorrow? Or they can tell you, I've actually got a few left. Do you have any plans? And if they don't know what the spoon theory is, you can just Google spoon theory, and it'll come right up, and you can read it. And it's written up very well by the person who came up with it. So, that's about it. So, part 2 is hospital. Speaking of hospitals, when you don't follow the spoon theory, you end up in the hospital, which is what happened to me. I took my 12 spoons and I said, hey, that's not enough. I want 24. So when I used up my 12, I said, well, I don't really need to sleep. I think I'll study some more for these AP exams. Here's a wise piece of advice. I don't know if this applies to healthy people, as I am not a healthy person. But, you know how they always advise you to get, 6 to 8 hours of sleep as a teenager? Or maybe it's 8 or more, I don't know, but something about an 8. If you have epilepsy or any other, medical issue, I suggest you don't go 2 weeks running on 1.5 to 2 hours of sleep a night because you're studying really, really hard, even though you already know the material and you have A's in the classes. Because what'll happen is you'll go to take the exam in your specialized room with a nurse and a proctor and your parent because, you wouldn't want to have a seizure and disturb the test-taking process, which I totally respect my schools for doing, by the way, and I'm really thankful that they set it up that way so that it doesn't disturb anyone, and they were trying to make me comfortable, and I respect them for the way they set it up. I wasn't being sarcastic there. But, when you get in there, you're going to be halfway through the test, and you're going to have a seizure. And the first time it happens, they're going to be like, no big deal, you just can take the late test. The second time it happens, when you have 6 of them, and the longest one is 8.5 minutes, and the shortest one is 5 minutes, they're going to be like, maybe you should go to the hospital. And when you say, ow, my shoulder hurts, they're going to say, yeah, you landed on it. It might be dislocated, or it might be, a pulled muscle, but we can't really tell right now, so you're going to have to wear a sling and go out the back door in a wheelchair, or else we'll call an ambulance. And then you're going to go home, and you're going to go to bed, and your mom's going to come home because she's worried sick about you, and then you're going to get up out of bed because you're an idiot to go say hi to your mom, and you're going to have a seizure because you just got out of bed and you're all imbalanced, and you're going to fall over a table, and you're going to land on your shoulder, the same one again, but this time, because you tripped over the table, you're going to hurt your foot, too, and you're going to go, ah! Well, first you're going to seize, again, twice, bringing the count up to, my friends, 8. Then you're going to go, when you wake up, ow! My metatarsals! My metatarsals! And it's going to hurt like hell, and you're going to think that everything is crushed in them. And you're going to say, Dad, please take me to the walk-in clinic, because I don't want to go to the ER. So, he's going to say, okay, just sit down on the bed for a second. And on the bed, you're going to have, a few more seizures, I think. I don't really remember. Then you're going to go to the walk-in clinic. You're going to be sitting in the doctor's office. He's going to be ordering you x-rays, and you're going to have to go pee-pee. I should have said urinate. That really feels embarrassing now. When you go to urinate, your father is going to walk with you because he doesn't want another Friendlies incident. He is going to say, do not lock the door again. He's going to stand outside. When he hears your head collide with the floor, he is going to tell someone, my daughter is having a seizure. You will not remember this. In fact, when people ask you where you are going to say, at school? And when they ask, what time of day is it? You're going to say, morning? Even though it's 4 p.m. And when people ask you your name, you're going to say, I don't know, Rose? And this will truly reveal what a geek you are when you insist that you need to go to Barcelona, the planet, not the city. The doctor promised you dogs with no noses. The EMTs will be amused. Now, in the ER, you're going to have another seizure. They're going to put some, Ativan in you. They're going to insist you stay overnight for observation. And because of all the injuries that you've done, including giving yourself a concussion, getting soft tissue injury in your neck, pulling a muscle in your shoulder, and doing God knows what to the ligaments in your ankle, you're going to be kept in ICU with your heart being monitored because they don't know what the hell is wrong with you, and you're going to get yelled at by every single doctor you see because you're not supposed to be depriving yourself of sleep when you have epilepsy. Then, when the ICU decides, you're okay now, you're going to be moved to CCU because they still want the monitoring done. You're going to have to get an EEG, x-rays, and I hate to tell you this because I know that you hate how loud they are, but an MRI of your head and neck. And then they will let you go only on the condition that you stick to bed rest and don't use the computer for that, 2 or 3 days. It sucks. Especially when you're in the middle of the CCU and you're like in a nap and, you've had 14 seizures in a day, you're really not in the mood. And all of a sudden this lady comes screaming down the hall saying that she pooped herself and she doesn't have underwear on, and you realize she means she's pooping right now and she doesn't have underwear on and you can smell it. Don't go there. Just sleep. Part 3. The ood that is currently residing in my tummy because I'm so nervous. Oh my god, in half an hour. I haven't told a lot of people really about this. I don't know if I've told Tumblr really specifically about the details. I've told some people more than others, but I'm going through an application for a seizure dog because of everything that's going on with the seizures. And, God, this is a long video. I'm so sorry, guys. But we got a call, and I'm doing my Skype interview today, and I'm really nervous. That's why I'm dressed nice. Usually I don't dress nice for you guys. I'm sorry. I didn't dress nice for you guys. But, yeah, I'm really nervous because this is the next step, and I really would feel more secure with a dog that's trained to alert and react to seizures, because I won't have a parent or anything next year, and doctors are threatening that if we can't figure this out, to prescribe a gap year, and I know that they can get away with that. So, I'm really nervous about this interview. I want to make a good impression, and I really would like to move forward with this process to the next step. So, if you don't know what an ood is because you don't watch Doctor Who, they're these slimy alien things. They're one of my favorite aliens because they're so freaking sweet, and they wear their brains on their hands, and they're sweet, but they're just so slimy that's what it feels like is in my stomach. It's gross. If you're not a Whovian, then your metaphor is, it feels like I swallowed this. Okay? Okay. Part 4. So, Mom and Dad had to go to the car insurance place the other day, and I was walking by quickly. So, my glance was just like this. So I was like, tenant? Tenant? So I walked over. I see this. Tenant. Tenant. New York Tenant cover. What? New York Tenant cover? Erie's Home Protector Program. And I'm like, you know, not to be forward or anything, but I could use a tenant cover, and you spelled his name wrong. And I was, about to walk up to the lady and be like, no offense, ma'am, but the first N right there, there's 2 of them there. And then I realized it was like tenant, not the person. But I still think they're talking about the doctor here, because listen to some of these things they cover. They're definitely alien, okay? Now, this is what the policy includes coverage for, okay? Personal property, whatever it may be. Like, if you lose your phone that had jiggery pokery to it, the doctor will replace it. Any additions or alterations you make to your premises. If the doctor happens to crash his TARDIS into your fence, no biggie, he'll fix it. Loss of use, which covers the additional living expenses you incur due to temporary relocation. If you have to, move on to the TARDIS, don't worry, he'll pay the rent on the old house. Personal liability for personal injury, including bodily injury or property damage claims brought against you anywhere in the world. I think they mean anywhere in the universe, but pretty much sounds like what he does for a companion to me. Medical payments to others who are injured in an accident arising from your premises or personal activities. I'm not so sure the doctor does that so much, but if it's someone you like and he likes and you accidentally hurt them, I don't know, then he might. Now, here are some of the perils that they cover. This is what really freaked me out, okay? Fire or lightning. That's not so bad. Windstorm or hail. That's iffy. I mean, the hail, that could be. Explosion. Explosion. Seriously? That's an alien. Riot or civil commotion. So, I'm telling you, this place, my insurance place, will get David Tennant to come cover you when the Daleks and the Cybermen just start battling each other like crazy, okay? Aircraft. So, when the Sycorax come, got it covered. Vehicles. Yeah, remember that one episode with the vehicles? My brain is a little foggy because I'm so nervous, but the GPS evil machines, they stand no chance against this company and their Tennant coverage. They've got David Tennant on this. Smoke. Now, I'm not so sure about the smoke. I guess they've really got you covered against most of Britain and America and every other country. Vandalism or malicious mischief. Baby, if you see Bad Wolf written anywhere, you call Tennant right away. He probably won't really care about cleaning it up as much as he'll be like, "Oh my God, where is Rose Tyler? Get me to Rose Tyler!" But, you know, whatever. Glass breakage. Wow. Usually he's the one breaking the glass, so he'll definitely cover it for you and apologize. Theft. Yeah, he'll come back and apologize for stealing your stuff. Falling objects. This one's totally cool. Like, if you see a blue police box falling from the sky, or if his hand randomly falls from the sky and lands in your yard, please call this number for David Tennant to take care of it, and do not give the hand to Torchwood. This will prevent so many things from happening. Okay? Capiche? Weight of ice, snow, or sleet. Now I'm telling you, it's not snow, it's ash. So just call Tennant and say, "Hey, thanks for the ash, man. Do you mind cleaning it up because it's kind of slippery now and I don't like it so much anymore. If I wanted some more, I'd go to America. You know, New York is a friggin' pool of melted mush. You know, so I'll go there. No big deal. So, get your ash out of my yard." No big deal. He'll clean it up. Sudden tearing apart or cracking of a heating or air conditioning system. Honey, it ain't just your heating or air conditioning system that's having a sudden tearing or cracking apart. That is a tearing or cracking apart of the universe. And, at this point, please don't call David Tennant. He has to save Rose this time. This time's going to be different. Rose is going to stay in our universe instead of the parallel universe. So just, if you see a sudden cracking or tearing anywhere, if it's your wall or your heating or anything, call the doctor. Don't go anywhere near the crack. Stay away from the crack. Okay? Call the doctor, Amy. Call the doctor. Freezing by temperature reduction of plumbing, heating, and air conditioning systems. If there's sudden freezing, look outside your window. See if there's snow and if you see any ooze. If you do, for God's sake, check their eyes. If they're red, then you're screwed. Run back inside and hide. If they're not red, say, "Hello, ooze. Would you mind singing a song to me?" And when they do, you will cry tears because they're just so, so beautiful. Accidental overflow or discharge of water from within a plumbing, heating, air conditioning system, etc. Okay, this one, it's nothing to worry about. What happened was Donna and the doctor had to drain the Thames. So, the Thames... I'm an American, please forgive me. Donna and the doctor had to drain the Thames. So, just pretend I didn't say Thames. I do know that it is the Thames. So ignore the fact that they drain the Thames and just ignore the fact that your thing's overflowing, and it'll all go back to normal in like 24 hours. They just had to drain the Thames so they could defeat the evil spider machine thing. So, and I do know the name for the alien. I'm just trying to get this done because it's over 30 minutes and my interview starts soon. So, with that one, just chill, wait. The doctor's going to be really lonely as soon as it's over, so you might want to call his number really quickly after this, because he'll come and he'll visit you, and you might be his new companion instead of Martha. Please be his new companion instead of Martha. My only things are, don't fall in love with him, don't hate on Rose. That's basically it, actually. Damage due to a sudden and accidental surge of electrical current. Now this one is more if you live in Wales, actually, especially Cardiff. If you live near the Rift, you're going to have this all the time, people. If you live near Torchwood, it's Torchwood's fault. If you live near the Rift, I hate to tell you this, but there's a rift. The doctor will come here to charge sometimes, and there's a surge of current when he's charging up his time and space machine, but he will be happy to pay for any damage. He's got all the money in the world, in the universe actually, mostly because he steals it from other people. If you'd noticed the theft mentioned earlier, but he will give it back to you. And volcanic eruption. I don't know if this rings a bell, but anyone remember Donna and the doctor going to a volcanic eruption? Now, if you were one of those poor souls that was involved in that, the doctor mentions that he couldn't save you guys. Apparently this brochure thinks he can. They're lying. He couldn't save you all. It was part of history. Believe me, I took Latin and global history and AP World and AP Euro. It couldn't have been prevented, honey. I'm really sorry. I'm not sorry often, but when I am so sorry. And this is for all your insurance needs. All your insurance needs. David Tennant can get it. And so then I felt like weird picking up the Tennant service packet. So I picked up the Youthful Driver packet, even though, you know, I won't be driving in the foreseeable future, seeing as I have epilepsy. Part 5 and the finale. There's a Nerdfighter gift exchange. It's closed now, I think, but you signed up earlier, and I have the best. Let me make sure I got them all. I have the best Nerdfighter gift giver. Nerdfighter that I'm giving gifts to. I have your gift, and I'm mailing it as soon as I can. As you know, if you're watching this video. If you're not watching this video, you're not getting this message, so it's pointless. But if you're watching this video, I just got out of the hospital, as you know, so. But I do have your gift. And I'm so sorry, I suck. But, my gift giver is, pretty cool, as you might notice from these. Doctor Who, the pin thingies. I don't know the word for them, I'm sorry. But look at that. It's like a TARDIS. It has this little noise. And then there's this one. It says, don't blink. And I'm like, I don't know if you knew this, but that's my favorite episode. Other than, that's my favorite 10th Doctor episode, I should clarify. My favorite episode is, oh god. My favorite episode is The Empty Child. But my second favorite, The Empty Child / The Doctor Dances, because it's a two-parter. But my second favorite episode and favorite Tennant episode, and since he's my favorite Doctor, I think it gets a little more weight, is Don't Blink. So, winner! And I wear fezzes now. Fezzes are cool. We actually named my mom's new car. Well, we used to have a blue minivan, and it looked so small, and then you got on the inside and it was huge. So we called it the TARDIS, because it made this horrid noise whenever you started it up. There was always something wrong with it that needed fixed. It was a really bumpy ride, even on the smoothest road. It was just, you had to like crank this thing to get it going. It was what I learned to drive in. I swear to God, any car after this is easy. And it was a she, and she was ancient, and she had feelings, and we called her the TARDIS. And my mom just bought this tiny red car, and because the TARDIS was dead. I mean, she was dead. And I was like, what are we gonna name a red car, Mom? Who buys red cars? Nothing cool is red. And then I was like, you know? And so I was like, fezzes are cool, fezzes are red. And I was like, name the car Fez, and you could pretend you're riding Matt Smith's head. And I was like, So Mom and I named the car Fez, so we can ride Matt Smith's head. Moving on. You know what else is cool? Bow ties are cool. Bow ties are cool. And so I think these are awesome. Like, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do with them yet, because I have so many ideas for what I could do with them that I can't decide. And I should really stop talking now. The phone's ringing, see? So I gotta go, loves. Thank you for listening to me for this long if you made it this far. Bye!